sipping coffee on your front porch in the morning, taking a stroll through the downtown shops. Great local dining and entertaining events all year round. It's Celebration Florida, America's neighborhood, and it's time you took a look for yourself. Welcome to the Celebration Radio Show, Inside and Out.
Hello and welcome to the Celebration Radio Show, Inside and Out. I am Joss and I adore Celebration, but I am certainly the outside part of this show. Let me introduce my partner in crime every show and the man who's certainly on the inside, Al Valentino III.
Hey there, Celebration and listening audience around the world. This is Al.
Al, tell everyone a bit about yourself. Everyone in Celebration knows you, but people outside of Celebration, I know you because it's the Greater Celebration Chamber of Commerce. Tell me a bit about that and how you started it and what you're all about.
Yes, sir. I have been living in Celebration since 1997. I saw it grow from about 300 homes to about 8,000, 9,000 people that it's at now. Had a barbershop and salon for about 5 years here in town, as well as a brick and mortar store. And when we closed that down, about a year later, we decided to open up our own Chamber of Commerce for Celebration. We had never had one before, and we shared the counties, the Osceola County. About a year ago, we created the Greater Celebration Chamber of Commerce. Have about 163 members in it right now, and it's including Celebration as well as businesses from the surrounding area.
Do you know what's great about you? Immediately, you know you're heavily into social networking because you say, I had a business, a bricks and mortar business.
Yeah, you could tell. Yes. Yeah.
You make it sounds like it's old fashioned now.
Well, it is, but before I had the salon, I was doing stuff on the web and stuff for 10 years. So even back then we started doing the comparisons between brick and mortars and, like when all the stores started going online to do online sales, like with J. Crew and Eddie Bauer and stuff like that. So
the difference is we will never have a virtual salon.
No, you were unable to do a virtual salon.
No.
But I did try it when I had the salon. It was the Barber and Beauty Emporium was the name of it. And we did try putting several thousand products online too, so at least people from around the world. Australia was a big purchaser. They really liked ordering stuff, hair products online from us, and nail products.
That probably says something about the Australians.
Yes.
It keeps their sheep lovely and soft.
Yes.
Okay, our show here will be half an hour every 2 weeks for now until we get into the swing of it, which I might even extend that. And it's a show almost, I think we've discussed somewhere for the residents to come and listen to it, but also for people from outside to try and get to know what Celebration's all about. I think that's probably our ethos here, isn't it, Al?
Yes, most definitely. That's the Celebration inside and out. It's telling people what's going on inside Celebration, but also, talking with the county and the community and the rest of the world as well.
Great. So really what I'm just going to do is just sit and nod and occasionally interrupt Al. Because he's the man with all the knowledge of what's happening there. He'll supply all the stories. So go on out, pick one of your stories from your huge list and let's find out what's going on there.
Well, let's see. There's a lot going on in Celebration right now. Maybe we'll start with one of the more exciting news topics that's going on. The Water Tower Shopping Plaza, located at Celebration Avenue and Route 192 in Celebration, was recently purchased by a group called the Clarion Partners. They purchased this Water Tower Shopping Plaza. It's about, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's about 120 square feet. Mm-hmm. They were able to buy it, and the really exciting news is that they're renovating a good portion of it and putting in a public supermarket, because currently the public supermarket, we have to go outside of town, and a lot of the concept of Celebration was to have everything you need within walking, biking, or somewhat driving distance. So this is a very, very big deal to have a supermarket right here in town.
The Water Tower shopping area, I felt it was going down a bit. Was that the feeling that everyone else was getting? Things were closing and it was losing something that everyone knew was there?
Yes, most definitely. That's where my hair salon was. So when we put that in back in 2000,
so when you moved out, everyone just called it a day.
Yes, pretty well. Yeah, no, but around there, a lot of people did start closing around that time. It was probably about 2 years ago now, and many of us were there for anywhere between a few years to 5 years. We did have a Goodings supermarket that was there for about 3 months when I was there. They closed down, and that was a big hurt on the shopping plaza, since a lot of our businesses had moved there, because that was going to be our anchor store at the time. So that being vacant for 3 of the 5 years I was there, and then they chopped it up to make smaller venues to go in. It definitely.
Was that just because it wasn't getting used, the Goodings, or were people go? There must have been some reason why they pulled. Did you see yourself that there was getting less and less people going in there, perhaps going to the Walmarts?
I did. People, what was happening was it took a while to get the grocery store open. Once it opened, Goodings was known for being one of the somewhat higher price supermarkets in the area. No, not at all. And that was part of the problem. They just assumed that everybody would be willing to pay that higher prices for the convenience of shopping there. And people, when we interviewed them, when they came into the salon and we were talking with just, residents in general and visitors, they all said, if you're charging an extra 5 cents for a gallon of milk, that's fine. If you're charging an extra $2 for a gallon of milk, and it's like going to, like a 7-Eleven, gas station to get it, then that's a way different situation. So people would just hop in their car and drive to the Publix that was a little bit down the street, or drive to the Walmart that was a little bit further down. So that's part of the reason. A lot of people went in there for lunch. That was pretty much their subs, and their salads were about the right price. Considering, but the rest of the stuff after the first month, people just started realizing that it was just way too expensive. Yeah, so that's why
for me, the pecking order is always, if I want the cheapest, it's Walmart, and then Publix will charge you a little bit more, but they still have the goods range there, and then the Goodings is like quite a few higher than that. It really is. I think you put it down perfectly. I always felt it was the same price as your petrol station or your gas station.
Yeah, it really was. It really, really, really was. So that was part of the biggest problem. And then when that closed, everybody just started dropping over the course of the next few years, because that was supposed to be the biggest traffic draw, the way the plaza was set up. So again, when the Publix goes in, it's going to be right in the middle of the shopping plaza. They're going to take out some of the buildings. They're going to take out a little bit of the green space that was never really utilized. It's just been kind of sitting there all these years. And they're going to put more parking in, so it should be a very, very good thing for the community and all the businesses out there at the water tower.
Do we have timescales for anything yet, or is it just early days?
No, they're out there working right now. They've roped stuff off. As far as when they're going to start knocking buildings down and renovating, I have seen everything from it's going to be by the end of the year to sometime next year. And given the fact that when I was going into that shopping plaza, we were supposed to be in about 2 years prior to when our building was even completed. So it does take a while to get things built in general. So, but we'll see. Maybe Publix is bringing in their own crew to do the renovation, and when that happens, usually things get done a lot quicker because they know what has to be what to spec, and where exactly everything kind of goes and what permits to pull properly, as opposed to when other buildings were getting built down there and it was, lag time on stuff.
I think it's great. I think it's regeneration it's showing there. I mean, without saying anything, did you find that when you were there, was the rent reasonable, or was it OTT? Is that the reason it went down? And hopefully, as you say, we've now got this public anchor store that things should start picking back up again.
Yeah, I think that was part of it too. A lot of the problem is rent in general is just very, very high. It's at a premium here. And that comes along with the Celebration Florida theme. They figure there's going to be heavy traffic coming in. When I was, getting my lease together for the salon, we were expecting, tens of thousands of people daily to be going back and forth based on the schematics we saw with the grocery store and the timetable and everything. So you were willing to pay, shopping mall plaza or big giant, super shopping plaza prices for your rent, as opposed to literally if I went right across 192. For the people that aren't familiar with Celebration, we kind of say across the street. There's Celebration, and one of the main thoroughfares is Route 192. Well, it's a little bit of a smaller highway with traffic lights, but if you go on the other side of that, there's different plazas and shops out there as well, and the rent difference, is up to, it might be a difference of $10 a square foot out there versus $40 a square foot within
Right.
Celebration, plus paying a piece of whatever you made, like a 2 or 3 or 5% commission, or back to the landlord as well. So.
Exactly, and this is what we need to. So, we've seen house prices hit, and exactly when house prices hit, then businesses need to react as well to that. You can't when you're paying astronomical rents, because you're in that vicious circle where your owner's having to cover costs and you're having to cover costs, and we've seen too many good shopping places disappear because of that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't realize too, because I've as a business owner at the time, and even through the Greater Celebration Chamber now, a lot of people don't realize exactly what happens when a business person opens a business. They don't realize, like, if the rent's extremely high, there's times where business owners have to take like a second job. They're not paying themselves any wage to begin with, because they're trying to make sure they can hire people and in these situations pay the rent and take inventory in. But there's a number of former business owners or current business owners that I know that have businesses and live in Celebration, and husbands and wives both have second jobs because they need to make money. So literally all that money that should normally be going to business owners for the spoils of actually, being entrepreneurs and starting the new business, they're using to have to spend on rent. And again, they made that decision. They said, I want to be in Celebration versus going across the street and, or going into a different area of the county or Central Florida. And that's the trade-off, the extremely high rent.
Exactly. I think people need to realize that there's quite a business community in Celebration. I think Celebration Boulevard has a lot down there.
Yes.
It's not just Market Street and Front Street and that's it. You've got an incredible business community there.
Yes, and there's a lot of home businesses as well. There's it's 500, and last time I looked it was like 540 businesses in Celebration. And that's because there's so many people that have home businesses or internet businesses, or working with different markets and the such. So there's a lot of entrepreneurial spirit here in Celebration. It's just people had to figure out ways of, making it affordable and profitable for them. There's a lot of these businesses that are run out of homes that would love to have, storefront viewability or, any type of location in Celebration, but they just can't afford to do it. And a great thing, I actually have been talking about this for several years, but one of the best things that could possibly happen would be if the businesses could actually purchase their location, kind of like in Front Street there's an area on home that's called the Home Business District, and there when Disney was developing the town, they set that up so that way people could live in the home as well as have a business in it. So there's Dr. Nelson had Front Street Dental down there for a long time. There's been architects, Danny Bumpus and Libby Bumpus have had Bumpus and Associates architects firm down there for a long time. There's a lot of businesses that were designed that they kind of wrapped it into their mortgage of their home, or if they can purchase the home outright, the business is paying off the price of the house. They would do much better off than if they had been spending, $20,000 a month on a small little storefront.
Yeah.
In Celebration down in the downtown area, and they're Front Street connects. It's right up the street from the Market Street area of downtown. But if any of the buildings ever could be converted, like even like the ones on Celebration Avenue, they started converting some of them over that were originally apartments on the first floor. And if those can be purchased, that would be awesome, because the business can come in and say, okay, I'm going to open this up. I've mortgaged it. I've figured out how I'm going to do it. And then it could be theirs. It's kind of like what you see in other cities that are well established, all over the U.S. and over there in the U.K., where you literally, you own the place that you're working in. That's what, that's how generations can keep the businesses in there. You see, people that have, florist shops for 3 generations, or people that are, meat markets or fishmongers for 3 generations, because their grandparents did what they needed to. They got the business, they got the location, and it's paid for. They're not paying chunks of rent every month.
Yeah, and tend to find that people work harder because they're working for something they own.
Yes.
It's that pride and continuous circle, which is why you're quite right with the generations. We're going to take a quick break here, but what I'd like to say is, and what Al's brought up here is, this show is dedicated to celebration and celebration businesses. And as such, you can advertise completely free on this station during the celebration shows. So all you need to do is drop myself a line, myself and Al a line at radio@celebrationradio.net, or just bump into Al or drop him a line if you know him through the Greater Chamber of Commerce and just say, yes, I'd like an advert, and he'll talk to you about how that can be set up. So we'll get a script sorted for you, etc., and we start playing adverts. So what we're going to do is going to take a quick break now, play some of the adverts that already people have been in touch with Al, and be straight back.
Everything that we do for a feeling. A relationship, house, car, meal, job, vacation. Imagine if you could generate whatever feeling you wanted. You would have total power over your life. I can help you reach a fulfilled, powerful, and successful life without changing your circumstances, no matter what life has thrown your way. Anil Gupta, Extraordinary Fulfillment Coach, 407-227-6808.
Carpet One Floor & Home is North America's leading floor covering retailer with more than 1,000 independently owned and operated locations in the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Carpet One Floor & Home stores are known for a broad selection of carpet, wood, laminate, ceramic, vinyl, and area rugs, including exclusive brands from Bigelow to Lee's. We offer a unique customer experience with the exclusive Select-A-Floor merchandising system that simplifies the shopping experience, and the Beautiful Guarantee, which guarantees that customers will be 100% happy with their floor. Find Carpet One of Celebration at 53 Blake Boulevard in the Water Tower Shops, or find us online at winnercarpet1celebration.com. That's winnercarpet1celebration.com. Or call one of our friendly staff members today, 407-566-1601. 407-566-1601 for Carpet One of Celebration.
Worthy Exchange is launching the first ever kindness appreciation concept. Right here in Celebration, local businesses have partnered with us to offer gifts and incentives every time a random act of kindness happens and is recorded. We're about to change society one person at a time, and we need you to join this great movement. Want to know more about how this works? Just call 407-489-4548. Or if you're passing by on the internet, how about dropping in on us at www.worthyexchange.com. That's worthy, the letter X, and the word change. worthyexchange.com. Visit us now to register and receive important updates and what's happening, so you can feel how great it is to be a part of this celebration movement at worthyexchange.com.
And we're back now. As you heard those adverts there, all celebration businesses, they've all got in touch with Al. So if you want your business to be highlighted on the show, get in touch with Al. We'll get the adverts out there. Or what Al has said as well, he'll come along and you can have conversations, get you on the show, bring it into part of that. This is your show. Help us develop it even more. Isn't that right?
Yes, sir. This is what's great about it. It's just like when we formed the chamber the past year. We're building it to be what people want it to be. So yes, most definitely. As we get suggestions or people that want to talk on the show, that would be outstanding.
Yeah, because we've had conversations. I think what we said is what we do is we'll start this off, and we're sure that in the next couple of months the show won't be anything like it is now because you would have helped mold into something that's useful to you.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I've already talked with a few different people that were interested in coming in to be guest speakers and lecturers and such, so that would be great.
Yeah, and I always said, if it needs to go weekly or we need to extend it, we're willing to do anything required. Well, that's what Al said anyway. Yeah. Have you been food packing, Al? I believe you've been food packing. Tell me about it. Yes,
just a few days ago. I'll give you a little history. Celebration Foundation was formed back when Disney was here. That was one of the first organizations put in. It's a nonprofit organization. And in this past year, they brought on a new executive director. Her name is Gloria Neese. And she's been doing such amazing things with the people that are volunteering, working with her there. One of her big things is hunger. And especially in this county, there are several thousand. They're calling them the people are families in transition. There are people that have lost their homes, lost their jobs, and they're living in the hotels on 192.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that the parents are going out and they're looking for jobs and they're trying to take care of their families, but the kids are still going hungry. And there's a couple of things that the Celebration Foundation is working on. One of which is they were finding out that the students in the lower grades, the younger grades, they were going to school, and depending on when they were supposed to be having lunch versus their snack, they weren't able to eat. And to describe what was happening, the parents usually can pay about 25 cents a day, and it feeds the children, any child of Celebration, and it feeds the children a snack. Well, what was happening was these parents couldn't afford the 25 cents a day because of the situation they're in, and their children were going without food in the school. And what was compoundingly making it even more difficult was those students were in the same location as the other students that were benefited being fed. And that was just horrible. That's horrible. That's basically saying, you know what, you don't have enough money to eat, so you're going to have to watch these other people eat. So what the Gloria and the foundation started to do was they started a drive basically saying, can you donate? It would be 25 cents a day. It's going to feed a child, their meal at school. That's been going over amazingly well. They even had matching funds from some people from Celebration that anonymously said that they would equal whatever the number of money coming in for that. So that's made a major change there. Along with that, though, some people started to realize Gloria at the foundation and also some of the gang from Celebration 34747 Cares, who take care of making sure the kids have food over the weekends by packing up food. They were realizing that spring break was coming up and that there would be no food for the kids at all because there's no school. So Gloria and some of the people from the volunteers from the foundation and a coalition of probably about 10 to 20 other nonprofits or businesses in the area got together. And just past few days ago, we met over at the Rock Church. They donated an area, a large space for us to pack 500 or meals for 500 kids, so that way they have food for over the week. And they had about 60 volunteers. Thankfully, Mike Jackson, who is the vice president of the Celebration Foundation, he has a history in grocery stores and grocery store chains. Well, that's his gift. He's blessed with knowing how to properly purchase food. What happened that goes along with this is that the Edith Bush Charitable Foundation donated $10,000 to this group, the Celebration Foundation Coalition, to purchase food specifically for this program. So Edith Bush donated $10,000. And it was able to make us have enough food to feed these 500 kids for the week of spring break. And we actually packed it. It took an hour and a half. It's one of those, it really shows what happens when you have so many people. We thought it was going to be an all day, we're going to be sitting here trying to pack these meals. Well, there were so many people that came into this place, and we had, and it was awesome. I mean, like, there was people from other schools, because it wasn't just Celebration School. It was all the different schools from the county. And there were, trucks showed up. The guys knew how to plastic wrap the bins, everything. This was an awesome, amazing experience to what they did. And the kids got fed, which was, that's the main thing. That's what it's all about.
So what's the name of the foundation? It's the Celebration Foundation, is it?
Yep, it's the Celebration Foundation. And then the coalition Gloria put together is called the Osceola Connected. And what it basically does is it's trying to bring different groups together. It's brought, we're the Greater Celebration Chamber of Commerce is part of it. Osceola County itself is part of it. Celebration Cares, Celebration Health, Corpus Christi Catholic Church, the Community Presbyterian Church, Stetson, Sheriff's Department, Give Kids Safe Shelter. I mean, all these different groups, the Crossing Church, all these different groups are getting together to try to help. It's specifically designed for the people that need food. It's all about these people that are out there trying to, it's not like they're just trying to sit around all day saying, what am I going to do? They're out there trying to find jobs or trying to find work. They just can't get back on their feet because they've basically lost everything.
Yeah, there was a CBS 60 Minutes on it last year, wasn't there? Where it followed one's family's plight on the hotel straight on the 192.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why I was going to say that's why Habitat for Humanity is working with them now too, because people are donating furniture, anything. Like Salvation Army is working with the group now too, so that way these people can go in and use credits. And the way the credits work are, anytime Celebration does any type of donations to Salvation Army, they'll say, okay, Salvation Army say, okay, this is what the fair value is of these items. Well, if it's coming out of Celebration, it kind of gets put into this pool where the Celebration Foundation can then say, okay, we have this many credits, and then go to the people on 192 and say, okay, we have 50 credits to give out per family, so they can go get clothing, or they can go get odds and ends they need. So that way Celebration's kind of donating the stuff, and then also being able to donate these credits to these families so that they can kind of get a double benefit out of everything.
Is there a move to try and move people out of those hotels on 192? Because, I don't know what the situation is there, whether the hotels happy they're getting paying customers, or whether they want the tourists back, or...
No, that's been there's been talk about that recently right now. There's been some meetings that I've been going to as well with part of the coalition, and they're trying to figure out ways of moving them from the hotels to homes of some sort, or just anywhere, because of two things. The hotels that are letting the people stay there, they're being very gracious. Like they're not trying to kick them out. Like they're not being evil landlord type of thing, but they want to get back in the business of tourists. That's what the hotels were set up there for. And plus, I was finding out too that some of the hotels have the families in transition as well as tourists there at the same time, and there's conflicts just simply because of it's like having a noisy neighbor. If you're on vacation, you're going to want to party and come in at 1:00 in the morning. Meanwhile, right next door, you have a family of 4, and the kids have to get up for school.
Exactly, yeah.
So, that's why they're trying to figure out ways of, getting, and the people that are living in the hotels don't want to be there either. They want to be in, solid, structure homes.
Well, let's be honest, all of us, after about 2 weeks of a hotel, even the best holiday in the world, vacation in the world, we all get a bit stir crazy of a hotel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because even the ones that have efficiencies, they're small, because it'd be like a little itty bitty sink next to a microwave. You might not have a stove, so it makes you, like you're saying, you get a little crazy in there.
So how do people go about donating? So I presume they could just donate X number of dollars towards the meals, etc. Then is it a case of just going through the foundation?
Yep, they can call. There's a couple of different ways. The best way would probably either to go and call the Celebration Foundation. Their number is 407 566-89. Oh, sorry, excuse me. That's not their numbers. I was looking at another number. Their number is 407 566-1234. It's easy.
That's an easy one.
Yeah. Well, it's one of the first ones that Disney put in way back in the day. Otherwise, you can also go to their website. It's thecelebrationfoundation.org, or you can find them on Facebook just by looking for the Celebration Foundation. But they would have ways on there to either donate directly through their website, or even to if somebody's local, they can always stop into the office. It's over in it's over on Sycamore Street in the Seminole Building.
That's absolutely brilliant. It's a good cause, and I think people should give to it. Well, you have about 5 minutes left, Al. Do you have any bit of news you want to chuck in, which is short, punchy, and you want to flow with?
See. I know there's something to talk about. The Relay for Life is going to be happening in Celebration again. This is going to be the 10th anniversary of it being here. And it's going to be on March 30th and 31st at Lakeside Park. It starts at 6 o'clock. Right now, they have 32 teams. About 300 plus people will be there. And so far, it looks like their top teams are Universal Relay Rangers, which is Universal Studios, Jazzercise, and Town Hall. Those seem to be the top 3 teams that are going to be there. In the past, Celebration's actually been noted as being one of the top 25 relays in the whole state of Florida. which is pretty major. Let's see.
It's always the one which
also
appears on the news, isn't it? The Celebration one.
Yeah. And let's see. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else coming up soon. I know the Greater Celebration Chamber of Commerce is going to be doing a mixer at the Celebration Golf Course on Wednesday the 28th from 5 to 7. That one's an open invitation to families, residents, businesses. We always make it very casual. You stay for as long as you want. You hang out, network. We did one last month, actually for people to meet the new director over at the foundation, and she had a great time. We had people, long-term residents, new residents coming on over. Have anywhere either between 30 to 40 to 100 to 150 people have shown up at the mixers before, so it's always a good time.
So really, as you say, anyone's welcome to the mixer. And it's an opportunity. I think this especially is what you're saying at the moment. It's an opportunity just to talk to people, network, come and talk to you about the show, even about what you want on the show, or whether you want your business promoting on it.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, like as an example, at the last mixer, the assistant coach from the high school football team was there talking with Stephen Brennan from Peak Chiropractic, and Stephen was telling him how he used to be one of the trainers for professional football teams, and also working over with some of the guys over at the Gators. And now the two of them are going to talk together to see what can help the high school football team. We had one resident there who's in her 70s who used to be a teacher. Now she's going to be volunteering over at the Celebration Foundation. We had people. It's a mixer of all levels. People that are business oriented, meet and greet each other about business. Residents, it's a reason for us all to kind of get together once a month and do something, fun. And the Celebration Golf Course is always very gracious by letting us have it over at their Windmill restaurant.
It's an awesome golf course anyway. But I think, as you say there, I think let's keep this as a community and get down there. That's the whole point. It's a community spirit. Everything else is falling apart around us. If you look at the news, ignore the news for one night, go out for the mixer, and just be part of a community where everyone's happy. No bad news allowed to be spoken at the mixer.
There you go. I like that.
Okay. Well, that's our first ever show of this. We hope to be back if we haven't got cut off the air completely. Thank you very much for joining us, Al, and being the fountain of all knowledge.
Thank you very much for setting this all up and being the most awesome radio announcer.
Is there an email address that people can get hold of you, Al, for the chamber anyway? Do you have an email address they can drop you a line?
Yes. If you want, you can email me directly anytime at al.valentino, VALENTINO, at greatercelebrationchamber.com.
There you go. So get hold of myself or Al at any time. Tell us what you want on the show and we will sort it. This is your show. You mould it how you want to. So until next time, from me and Al, take care of yourselves and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.